we will define the roadmap for the upcoming 10 years of the alliance, and the decisions regarding to NATO 2030 will be taken, in which we will participate. And we will once again underline the importance we are attaching to the alliance together with our allies. As NATO updates itself in the face of changing threats, NATO is also adapting to new conditions. Security, alliance, and territorial integrity will be the basis of our discussion, and we also believe that the main principles of the NATO cannot be overlooked and sacrificed, and we will underline those principles in the Leaders Summit. Many problems which are jeopardizing the global stability happens in our region, from Daesh to Fethullah terrorist organization to PKK and YPG. Turkey is fighting against many terrorist organizations simultaneously, and we are fighting against those terrorist groups not only inside of our borders but in a very extended geography reaching from Syria to Iraq. Yesterday, the terrorist attack targeted Afrin Hospital once again showed how barbaric the YPG terrorist organization is. Unfortunately, among the ones who have lost their lives, there were doctors and the civilians, and 14 of them have lost their lives and 32 of them have been wounded. Once again, we would like to wish a speedy recovery to the wounded ones, and may God rest the souls of the ones who have lost their lives. This heinous and insolent terrorist organization who shed the blood of our brothers and sisters in Syria and Iraq, we would like to state that we will make sure that we will avenge their bloods. We are not fighting against the terrorist organization here in our borders, but we are under increasing pressure of influx of refugees. And our borders also constitutes the border of NATO. As we protect our borders, we are also protecting the border of the NATO as well. As we are fighting on many grounds, naturally we are expecting from our allies to act in the spirit of an alliance. During the NATO Leaders Summit, we will call upon our allies to show solidarity with us in our fight against the terrorist organization. As of 1992, the support and contribution to the NATO, whenever it is needed, is a cornerstone, a clear indication of Turkey's commitment to NATO. As a stable and trustworthy ally, Turkey has undertaken many responsibilities inside of the NATO. As we are marching forward to 2030, the role and the position of Turkey will be even strengthened. And during the summit, we will hold bilateral talks with certain leaders of the countries. During those talks, we will have the opportunity to assess our cooperation inside of the NATO and our bilateral relations. Dear brothers and sisters, after the NATO summit, I will be making an official visit to Azerbaijan in order to speak our bilateral relations with my brother İlham Aliyev. The brotherly relations of Turkey and Azerbaijan is the main warranty of the stability and peace in the region. And I once again would like to state that by undertaking a historical triumph in Nagorno-Karabakh, Azerbaijan has put an end to 30 years of occupation. This also opened the door for peace and stability in the region, and we hope that this will not be sacrificed, this success will not be sacrificed for the political gains. And we have watched the military parade in Azerbaijan, and we all have also shared their feelings. And this time we will go to the lands where the historical triumph has been won. And the cultural capital of Azerbaijan, Shusha, which brought to life many artists important for the Turkish history, will be visited by us. And at the same time, we will watch the football match between Turkey and Wales on 16th of June, together with my brother, Mr. Aliyev. And then we will come back to Turkey. In Antalya, we will be hosting the Southeast Asia Cooperation Summit, and 13 of those countries will come together in the same table. And as you know, the rotating presidency of this platform is undertaken by Turkey. And as we are celebrating the 25th year anniversary of this cooperation, we will be giving the rotating presidency to our neighbor, Greece, on 18th of June, under my auspices and with the leadership of my foreign minister. I will participate in Antalya Diplomacy Forum. In addition to the government representatives, many academicians, think tank leaders, the members of the media and private sector will participate in this diplomacy forum, and it will be one of the greatest international physical meetings to be held during the pandemic. The innovative diplomacy and new era and new approaches will be the main theme of this forum. And together with the leaders coming to Antalya, we will hold our talks and negotiations. As I conclude my speech, I hope that our talks and our visits will be auspicious. This is what I supplicate for God, and I'd like to extend my gratitude, love, and affection to each one of you. Yes, please, the floor is yours. Could you please introduce yourself? You can take your mask out as well. From Haber Global, Umut Erol. So, during the bilateral talks, you will come together with Joe Biden, the U.S. President, and it will be first face-to-face meeting with him. I wonder which topics will be discussed with him during the NATO Summit. Well, dear friends, after he comes to office, this will be our first face-to-face talk with Mr. Biden. Of course, we have to discuss the bilateral relations between Turkey and USA. Unfortunately, there are many gossips both inside and outside. So we should overcome those gossips, and we should talk what we can do together and what we will be doing together. We have to discuss those issues. Of course, topics that we will be discussing are very broad. As you know, 24th of April, unfortunately, was an unfortunate process for Turkey. Of course, we wouldn't be expecting such kind of an approach from USA, but unfortunately, I have to say that this approach made us extremely sad. Of course, we will raise this issue in our talks, because at the end of the day, Turkey is no ordinary country. Turkey is an ally of US inside of NATO. So, as we are two allies, In the case of Armenia, which has nothing to do with the NATO, such kind of an approach by USA about Armenia, which has nothing to do with the NATO, definitely made us sad. So we have to remind that. And at the same time, there are many issues in suspense regarding to the field of defense industry, and the primary one is the issue of F-35. Unfortunately, as Turkey obeyed to Pacta Sunt Servanda, the USA is not obeying to the obligations arising out of the agreement. Turkey has already made the payments, and although there are, Turkey is giving approximately 700 parts of the equipment, and at the same time Turkey has made significant payments. 5 F-35 has been given to Turkey, and those F-35s have been seized and haven't been dispatched to Turkey. So there is also the ongoing issue of Patriots. The USA unfortunately didn't deliver what he has promised and taken them back without dispatching. As a result, we have come to terms with Russia, and we have taken one step further, and we have bought S-400 systems. Of course, in the field of defense industry, there have been many issues which we started discussing, but unfortunately we couldn't progress. Of course, at the end of the day, this is not what we desire. And in our bilateral talks, I do believe it will be beneficial if we discuss what we can do and what we cannot do together. Of course, we will discuss those issues, but our expectation from NATO is to act in solidarity and unity. So we are expecting an approach from USA without buts and ifs. And we also expect from the NATO members to take into consideration the security concerns of the Turkey and act in line with the spirit of alliance. As you know, the USA is preparing to withdraw their troops from Afghanistan. So as they are withdrawing their troops from the Afghanistan, the only trustworthy country to protect peace in the region is the Republic of Turkey. And of course our diplomats have given the answers to their counterparts, and they are so gratified about the possible role of Turkey to be played in the region, and we will discuss those issues even further. Well, I don't see that you are excited today. His Excellency Mr. President İlayda Ayçiçek from 24 TV. So NATO didn't give enough support to Turkey's fight against the terrorist organization. Are you planning to raise this issue up during the Leaders Summit? Of course, we will speak with the General Secretary of NATO, Mr. Stoltenberg. The General Secretary of NATO, Stoltenberg, has always taken a positive approach about those issues, and he has never given up from his positive approach, and he is a friend and ally in that regard, and we will discuss what we can do, what can be done regarding to those issues. Berk Özkan from Anadolu Agency. Many of the time people are raising the issue of the reserves of the central bank, and is there any development regarding to the local currency? Dear friends, regarding to the forex reserve of the Central Bank of Turkey, we have reached to the level of $100 billion at the moment. Of course, there are swap operations between central banks for the interstate commerce. In that regard, we have undersigned a very important agreement with China, and we already had a $2.4 billion of a swap agreement with China, and with an additional swap agreement of $3.6 billion with China, we have increased that level to $6 billion. This means 46 billion Turkish liras and 35 billion Chinese yuan. So $6 billion of a swap agreement between China and Turkey have been realized, and this was an important leapfrog for Turkey. Of course, there are the ones who were claiming that the foreign reserves of the Turkey is dropping, so they were dancing with joy. So we have already foiled their games. As you know, during my term as the Prime Minister, the foreign reserves of the central bank have already increased to $135 billion. Hopefully, we will increase that number even further. Hüseyin Günay from TRT Haber. As you know, in the fight against the mucilage problem in the Marmara Sea, there has been an ongoing fight. Both the municipalities and the ministries are fighting with that problem. So what kind of a problem do you think it will pose for the fishermen, because they have question marks whether they will be able to fish in the region? There are news stating that after it has been cleansed, maybe the mucilage can be used. What will be done in that regard? Dear friends, yesterday we have published the communique by the presidency, and Marmara Sea Action Coordination Committee has been founded. 2 days ago, in our presidential complex, a meeting has been convened by the Higher Education Board, and we have gathered all our professors who have expertise in this field. We have conveyed our messages, and we had a chance to listen to our professors. And in the upcoming phase, we also discussed what we can do together. So right now, on 77 different points, already 1,700 cubic meters of mucilage has been cleansed. An intense cleaning operation goes on, and those cleaning activities will continue 7 days, 24 hours. The collected mucilage will be assessed, and based on the assessment results, if they are suitable for being converted to fertilizers, they will be able to used as a fertilizers. But who will give the decision? Those working groups founded will give the decision, and based on their decision, the necessary steps will be taken forward. But the main issue here is to take the decision based on the sensitive results, and after very scientifically sensitive studies. But although it will take time, we will overcome this problem in the near future. Microphone. His Excellency Mr. President, Yasin Akem from TRT World. As you know, Turkey has obeyed to his obligations, but unfortunately, United States of America has recognized 1915 events as a so-called genocide. Do you think that during this NATO Leaders Summit, Turkey will be able to realize its targets, and how realistic will it be? Well, dear friends, I'm not a person who has just met with the USA or the leaders of the USA. From the time of Bush, we had our relations with Mr. Obama, we had relations with Mr. Trump, and right now we are managing a process of relations with Mr. Biden. And during those process, I cannot say that we had our bad days. I mean, we have cooperated very successfully, and so if you ask me whether the expectations of Turkey are met by the USA, I cannot say that they have, but what we hope, hopefully our expectations will be met and heard by USA. But I also have to say that Turkey is one of the top 5 countries who fulfill his duties and obligations inside of the NATO. This is really important, and they appreciate and acknowledge that. And right now, I also have to say that I am not meeting with Mr. Biden for the first time. I mean, he visited my house in the past, and we came together in the United States of America, so we have met with him many times. As he was the vice president during the Obama's term, we had met with him many times, and hopefully our talks will be carried out with the same level of sensitivity, so the steps which will make us forget 24th of April will be taken, and hopefully we will preserve our commitment inside of the NATO. And Turkey is one of the exceptions who fulfills his obligations regarding to the payments inside of the NATO. Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much.